Good afternoon on what is another warm, bright and sunny day. It's Thursday, the 3rd of July, and I'm in the reading nook with a nice old cup of tea. And bag full of goodies that I brought back from Free RPG Day, which in 2025 took place on Saturday, June the 21st. Yes, that is Midsummer's Day. So let's rifle through this big pack of things and see what I can pull out. Let's have a look. Here we go. This is the Arzium Quickstart Guide 2, and it's from Red Raven. There was a quick start last year. So, from the creators of Above and Below, Near and Far, and City of Iron, Arzium Roleplaying Game opens up the world of Arzium, a vast land filled with mysteries, magic, and forgotten technology. Create characters and stories from numerous folk, occupations, and abilities. Then gather a group of friends or foes and make your own adventures. This quick start guide includes basic rules, pre-made characters, and a starting adventure in the city-state of Ark. Official intro to the Arzium role-playing game. Now, I'm not entirely sure that we have actually had the Arzium role-playing game appear yet, in which case, of course, this is essentially the second introduction to it, following on from the previous quick start. So we've actually got inside a rather nice fetching map, and an introduction explains the world of diversity, creatures, and magic. Quick guide on how to play the game, role of the game master, and the players, as well as essentially the big explanations of the game elements. So starting off with attributes, and you can download a character sheet via that QR code. How to handle essentially action and skill tests and so on, essentially with challenges, which essentially means from you are rolling a 10-sided die and then spending points from the appropriate pool of attribute points to beat a target, unless of course you roll a 6, because 6s are unlucky in the setting. Got notes there on health and armor and conditions that you can suffer. Damage and resistance basically stop you suffering and inflicting damage, as well as how to track time, handle supplies, resting, and so on. Rules for your inventory, what you can carry, quests and leveling up, and rewards of play, plus character knots. Now, character memory knots are story tools each character gets to use help in a failed challenge. After rolling, if you wish to turn the die to its highest number, mark one knot on your character knot track and share that short memory from your past, explaining why the memory will help the character perform the task. And you only get 3 memory slots, or I should say memory knots, per level. Magic is whimsical. So we've already had a rule here for rolling a 6, unlucky 6. Well, you've got a whimsical magical table for when you roll a 6, when you cast magic. How to handle combat. Oh, sorry, I think that's my hay fever kicking in. How to set it up, track your enemies, and the power involved. Keep track of it in play. Sorry, and also organize them into groups. And then, so we've got an actual sort of guide to the combat round and what you do. Minor combat actions, which include swapping weapons, opening a door or window, using a consumable item, picking something up, calling out instructions, enemy turn and power tokens. Essentially, other than that, what you can do in your turn is it says, move once, you do that first, and then you do a combat action, But you also have something called gambits. Using a combat action, a PC may attempt to improvise action or strategy outside of the standard combat actions to change something about the battle or give their side an advantage. And that's kind of a narrative device. So it might be start a rock slide, top over a table to push back an opponent, throwing or pushing an opponent over a ledge, knocking out or disarming an opponent. So it's a little bit more freeform when they do that. Got a full list of equipment, including consumables, tools, and so on. And it's sort of like they're also both. It's both a list and a random table. Got weapons and armor, and then Flight into Madness. This is the adventure. And essentially, recent thefts of the Academy of Gom and the city-state of Ark set in motion an investigation into a mysterious organisation known as the Shattered Knife. And the player characters are hired to go after them and locate this organisation and what they've stolen. And essentially, it's a journey, but basically aboard a skyship, and the player characters have sort of like options and where they kind of want to go. But ultimately, they will run into these cultists and deal with the problem. And actually, that's it. Really, it's quite a short adventure. It really doesn't allow for a lot of character interaction or agency. There's the area where it's played out, and then you've got the 4 characters, the pre-generated characters. So they include a human makeshift marker, so basically a craftsman, a builder, another human who's a treasure hunter, a toadfolk investigator, and a hogfolk curstick. Basically that's a magic user who specializes in curses. And that's it. There's the back of the character sheet. I'm not entirely sure about this as a quick start, to be honest. It's a little thin, does give you all the rules, doesn't give you very much adventure. Basically coming in, I'm just trying to see if I get a page count, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 pages, of which that and that is the adventure. It's a little bit thin. I mean, obviously, expand it up to 32 pages would have made a whole lot more sense, and given something more for the characters to do and the players to get involved in, I think. It's in terms of adventure, it's a nice introduction to the system, and you're going to get a feel of what it's sort of like, but not much of a great one, and the adventure is really underwritten, and I think will leave players disappointed, to be honest. I know there was a lot of interest in this certainly last year, and I don't know whether there's going to be quite so much interest in it this year. But anyway, that's the Arzium Quickstart Guide 2 from Red Raven. Well, I hope you did enjoy this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where typically I'll have a box, but in this case, the bag of goodies that I brought back from Free RPG Day 2025, which I will then unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.